everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to the video, and today we are here for another severe weather breakdown. Now we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, including more severe storms for the rest of the night, an atmospheric river event that's out playing right now, and then also what's next to come. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the SPC outlook for today, where we still have a marginal risk of severe weather across portions of the upper eastern Ohio Valley here. That does include Pittsburgh, okay? Tornado threat, we still have a 2% risk of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point in that green blob there. That does include Pittsburgh once again. These storms do have a little bit of spin on them, but again, I said this in this morning's video as well. I don't think we're going to see a tornado tonight, but it could happen. Damaging wind threat, also 5% risk to see wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher within 25 miles of any given point in this blob. Once again, Pittsburgh is included in that, and then same thing for a hail threat, 5% risk of hail 1 inch or larger within 25 miles of any given point in that area, okay? So look out for that. We did actually have a damaging wind report today just outside of this 5% risk. It was in western New York here, so damaging winds are definitely going to be possible today. Hail, we've seen some hail as well, but tornadoes, none yet. Tomorrow, we do not have a marginal risk of severe weather, and then Tuesday, we don't have any thunderstorms forecast at all. Watches, warnings, and advisories, winter storm warnings in the pink, okay? We have some in Colorado, some in Utah, some in Wyoming, some in Nevada, some in Idaho, some in Maine, some in New Hampshire, some in Vermont, some in New York, okay? They're just all over the place now that we're starting to get into December here. Purple's winter weather advisory, same thing. Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, the whole shebang here, alright? We got a lot of winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings up. Browns are going to be your high wind watches and high wind warnings, okay? We do have a lot of flood watches still in effect and even some hydrological outlooks here in portions of the Northwest, as we're going to have a pretty significant flooding threat for the next few days, as we already have for the past few days. Blues, we still have avalanche warnings in effect, you guys. Rain, snow, gusty winds, all these factors can lead to some dangerous avalanche conditions, so be very careful if you're here in Oregon and Washington. I talked about that in this morning's video. Let's go ahead and move on to the excessive rainfall outlook here. Today we have a slight risk of flash flooding. That's 15% chance to see flash flooding within 25 miles of any given location in the yellow area there. We have seen quite a bit of flooding today up in this area, and it's not likely to stop soon, okay? Green, that's a 5% risk. Tomorrow, we have a moderate risk of flash flooding, which is honestly the main thing that led me to make this video. We do have a small moderate risk of flash flooding tomorrow, but it is there, and it could get extended for sure here in northwest Washington in the red. That's a 40% chance to see flash flooding within 25 miles of any given location in there. So we could definitely see some flash flooding tomorrow. It's not off the table at all, and it's going to be pretty bad tomorrow, honestly, for this entire area. I feel like they should extend the moderate risk, as some areas could see upwards of a foot of rain, not snow, a foot of rain. That is pretty crazy. Tuesday here, we have another slight risk of flash flooding, 2 of them actually in the northwest, okay? Then Wednesday, marginal risk for flash flooding in the northwest, so look out for that. And then Thursday, we do not have a flooding risk for the northwest, okay? So let's go ahead and look at what's to come, right? So right now, we have a lot of snow, a lot of rain in the northwest, obviously. Same thing with the northeast. Some scattered ice accumulations in those areas. Yeah, okay. But we go ahead and play this out into noon tomorrow, okay? This is what we could be dealing with. Some snow in the northeast, rain in the northwest, maybe some rain, light thunderstorm activity here in Indiana, Kentucky, that whole area, okay? But it's whenever we get into midnight tomorrow night that we really start to see this atmospheric river event get more intense. We are going to see a lot of thunderstorm activity in the northwest, a lot of ice as well, actually. Then we're going to have another rain system sweep across the Midwest here, bringing some snow to the upper Midwest, right? Pretty small, though, overall. The northeast event will be ending pretty soon. The northwest, still getting a lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of ice, okay? Look out. That snow system will move off to the east here, move into West Virginia and Virginia by the 7th. And then we're going to have that atmospheric river event kind of come to an end around the 7th here. And then we're going to have some more snow move off into the east into portions like Montana, Wyoming. And then we've got this little clipper system that could impact portions of the upper Midwest here, like Minnesota, North Dakota. Overall, not too intense. We are going to get some rain and thunderstorms kind of just surging from the central U.S. here around Friday the 8th at noon, and then we're also going to get quite a bit of snow here in the Four Corners states, so look out for that. But it's whenever we get to the 9th here, this is where things really start to get concerning, right? We see a big rain and thunderstorm event, even some snow mixed in there, unfold over portions of the central United States, extending in a line all the way from Pennsylvania back down into like Texas, right? This thing will move off to the east here, okay? Ice accumulation possible, some heavier snowfall totals in portions of Michigan and Indiana, and then we get a lot of thunderstorm activity here on midnight of the 9th, so into the 10th. Okay, we could get some snow in portions of the United States that have not seen snow yet. We could get a lot of thunderstorm activity all the way from Alabama back up into PA, and then that northwest event could actually kind of come back, create another bit of an atmospheric river, right? But this big system that we're watching is going to head off to the east, potentially even create like a sort of blizzard for portions of the western Ohio Valley, like Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, that whole area could see a lot of snowfall, you guys, so look out for that. Then this system eventually will leave us, and then all we'll be left with is the next system that will come in here around the 14th to 15th, and the main thing that's concerning with this is the huge amount of ice accumulation we're gonna see, right? So right now it's already pretty bad, but we go into like the 15th, the 16th, there's a lot of ice accumulation, and the models were reading this worse than they are now. They were saying there's going to be even more, but still, ice accumulation possible across portions of the upper Midwest, so definitely look out for that. And then we've also got a system in the Gulf of Mexico that could come into Florida and could produce some severe weather, but not super likely, okay? Sorry, here, the models actually are still showing it. This is on the 17th. Look at all that ice. Look at that. I know most of it is across southern Canada, but there is some dipping into the upper Midwest and the Northeast. That is a lot, you guys. That's a lot of ice accumulation, some sleet even mixed in there, all the way from Wisconsin down to Kansas. That's a lot, you guys. And then after that, it's a huge uncertainty, but I mean, that ice is just pretty insane, honestly. At this point, it would extend from Kansas to Michigan if the models are projecting correctly on the 18th, which is just insane. And then we could be looking at another severe weather event, but that's pretty far out, so it's hard to tell. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.